Hi, this is Erin Sharp with Kate Hoy and the Cornell Ben Center and Smarter Lunchrooms movement. We're here to talk about facilitating collaboration in your Smarter Lunchrooms makeover, also known as working with adult learners, working with your constituents to facilitate a smooth and effective lunchroom makeover. We're going to start with our resources. You can go online to smarterlunchrooms.org under the Resources tab and look either under PowerPoints or under Module 5, Facilitating Collaboration. Working with adult learners PowerPoint. These are tips for spreading the word and working effectively with adult learners. You want to make sure that when you spread the word and talk about your interventions or talk about what you'd like to do in your lunchrooms, that you do so in a way that's really engaging, okay? So how do we do this? How do we talk about it without sounding like we're going to talk about vegetables for the next hour? All right, how do I connect with my school and lunchroom staff members when they have very different experiences, when they have different perspectives, might be a little skeptical or wary about what they're going to be forced to do or asked to do. They might feel a little intimidated. It's important to put your participants at ease, right, and to fashion your workshops or your introduction session in such a way that's really inviting and really invites collaboration. It's not just, it doesn't feel like you forcing them or telling them what they need to do. And here are some ways to bridge that gap. It's important to remember that adult learners are different. It might be many, many years, maybe many decades since they were in a classroom. And you want to make sure that you consider that time, all right? They're not blank slates. They have a lot of experiences, ideas, and questions coming from their life experience and work experience. You want to make sure you give lots of opportunities for that to be incorporated in the discussion and to apply what they know to what you'd like them to do. Tapping into those ideas, adults tend to really look at the practical side of an intervention. So if you can look at how this will save money or save time, that might be more appealing than just idealizing health, okay? They take pride in their work, so say how this would make their lunchroom better or happier or more effective or more pleasant for the students. And they like to partner, all right? They're not children to be told what to do, they're partners to be invited into the collaboration process. So you want to make sure that they're given opportunities to use and express their creativity and to work together. Right. It's important to remember different learning styles. You want to be real active, not so much lecture. And you want to watch your language. We have something called lingo bingo, which is when we tend to throw out lots of specific terminology that we might have heard at one workshop that can be kind of off-putting to an audience. So you want to make sure you bring it down to the comfort level of your audience, whatever that is. You want to make sure to use visual and auditory and tactile teaching methods, which will give you a lot of examples of what that is. You don't want just lecture. You want some pictures, you want hands-on activities and collaboration activities. That's going to be much more interesting, and they're going to walk away remembering what they did. Okay, feeling, thinking, doing, and watching. There's a lot of different ways that we learn. You want to mix it up and incorporate a bunch of these. Visual means show, don't tell. Okay, picture's worth 1,000 words. Auditory means give them chances not just to listen to you, but to talk and listen and talk with each other. And tactile means let's move. Hands-on activities, moving around the room, gallery walks and things like this are really much more engaging, get the blood flowing, and it's more interesting than sitting still, so it's going to add interest to everything else that's going on at that time. And again, we're going to give lots of examples in just a couple of minutes. You want to incorporate their life experience. In our other Smarter Lunchrooms movement materials, we talk about the DPIE process. Diagnosing the lunchroom, prescribing changes, implementing changes, and evaluating the effectiveness of those changes. This slide lists all the different ways that you can use your stakeholders to do these different steps. You can involve them in surveying and observing, in writing goals, and coming up with suggestions for changes, in prioritizing needs. When you implement, you want to incorporate all the different colleagues because everyone has different talents they can use to improve the project. And lastly, when you evaluate, you want to make sure it's not just one perspective, like the money or the press or the health or what's being thrown away or what's being eaten. You want to make sure you ask a lot of different people what they think so you can find the successes. There's a lot of different success stories in the same interventions. Right? And of course, when you plan next steps, again, you want all those perspectives involved. It takes everybody working together to get the best result. All right, now you're convinced. How do we do it? Less talk, more action. Don't just instruct, collaborate. We're here to show you how. Remember all the different groups that you can work with: parent, communities, school administrators, teachers, food service, lunchroom staff. For excellent ideas on how to incorporate buy-in from all these stakeholder groups, check out our Module 4, Generating Buy-in, also available under the Resources tab on smarterlunchrooms.org. For each of the activities that I'm about to introduce, ask yourself these questions. How could I use this? And how could I customize it? Remember, these are made for a broad spectrum of constituents, but think about your school or your district, your staff, what interests them, what motivates them, and feel free to tweak these and make them your own. It'll make them more effective. Our first activity is what we call mission metaphors. Basically, we create and analyze a metaphor describing what the lunchroom is like and what it could be like, what an ideal lunchroom is like. This can also involve field trips to ideal lunching vacation spots, ideal lunching locations for ideas on how to market food. This might be like a Wegmans or a Panera or a food court, whatever really inspires your stakeholder groups where they would love to eat. Take ideas from those places and apply them to your own lunchrooms. It works because it's creative and low pressure. Everyone likes to go on a little field trip. And we have materials available for this on our website. Our second activity is role play. All right, acting out, whether it be prompts or problem solving. We have a workshop on this where we act out lunchroom scenarios, including those involving potential areas of conflict. It works because it's creative, because it gets participants out of their comfort zone, and it's a way of addressing these areas of static, so to speak, in a really low-key way among friends, right, in a private scenario. Okay? You can also incorporate lunchroom staffs or snacks or have guest stars come in and play different roles if that's what you like to loosen the crowd up or to give them different perspectives to talk out. We have sample scripts and a workshop on our website. We'll get to that soon. I'll show you where it is. The next one is Lunchline Redesign. This is where on a poster or on paper on a table, the staff members reproduce their current lunchroom and then redesign it. They use some of the Smarter Lunchrooms makeover techniques that we show on our website and our other materials to actually redesign it on paper first. And then they can get inspired, especially if there are multiple schools in the same room. They share, they get inspired by each other's schools, and then they take their favorite ideas and bring them back and actually implement them in their own schools right there. It's fun because it's interactive, it's creative, it's hands-on, it has people talking and working with their hands. It's a really fun activity. Our next activity is problem solving. This gives teams of participants case studies to analyze, especially taking different roles in that analysis, like one will pretend to be an administrator and one might pretend to be a food service director, and they talk through problems. It works because it's interactive, because it involves higher order thinking, thinking outside of the box, dealing with real world problems, which is really appealing. We have case studies on the website and scenarios in our PowerPoint. We'll go ahead and show you that right now. Here's a case studies on troubleshooting, all right, problem solving. It asks different group members to take different roles upon themselves, and then it gives you examples of problems, and you work out why that problem might exist and what you can do to fix it, all right, in a way that leaves everyone pretty happy, right? It's a really fun example. We've done it with a lot of different groups, and we certainly advocate checking it out. It's on our website, again, under the Resources tab. ThinkpairShare is a really easy, quick, free activity. Basically, when you do present information to a large group and you want to do a spot check for understanding, passing out a quiz or a written worksheet is kind of a drag, and it takes a lot of time and prep ahead of time. This, all you do is you ask a question, a comprehension question. Instead of just throwing it out to the group and then one person raises their hand and you call on them and everyone else just kind of sits there, instead you have every person think first, come up with the answer, and then pair, speak to one person next to them, and then share out as a group. This makes sure that everyone's engaged in the problem solving instead of just the one eager beaver that is always willing to jump into the ring. Right? This makes sure everybody gets involved. All right, and that works for pretty much any activity or spot check. All right. Another one is most least and best worst. A good example of this is our incentives activity, which is under Module 4, Generating Buy-in. In this case, participants evaluate choices and rank them. What is the most to least attractive? And this can be done with as few as 3 options or as many as 30 options. Once you've generated a list of ideas for your school lunchroom makeover, maybe bring this to your staff or to a group of constituents and say which ones are most appealing to least appealing. All right, and have different groups talk about it. And this makes sure they really focus on every different choice, really evaluate them, not just knee-jerk reaction, yes or no. Figure out what makes them good or what makes them appealing, or maybe what says, you know, this sounds good, but it might not work for us. It helps you kind of troubleshoot before you get your boots on the ground. This is a really easy activity. I suggest when you do this, don't just make a list and put it on the wall and ask people to talk about it, because then you're already listing what's best or worst. Instead, type them out on a piece of paper, cut the paper into strips, and give it to them as a bundle of strips. And they really manipulate it. It's hands-on. They really have to talk to each other about where things go. If you don't want to put it on strips, think about putting it on Post-its, for example. Something really manipulatable. You can involve some color and a lot of discussion. It's really easy and really effective higher order thinking. All right, that's it for now. Definitely good luck. If you have other ideas for a workshop that you'd like to learn about and you haven't heard about it here, or you're looking for it on the website and don't see it, please let us know. You can contact Kate Hoy at KIH7@cornell.edu or at ben.cornell.edu. Give us an idea. We'd be happy to generate helpful materials for you. The last thing before we sign off, we're going to go back to that website, smarterlunchrooms.org. All right, under the Resources tab, we specifically have a node called Workshops for Lunchroom Staff. This is for the actual lunchroom workers if you're looking for a staff development day. Some of these are as short as 10 to 15 minutes. Some of them are as long as 30 minutes or more. And some of them are very long, maybe like an hour, but they can be broken into smaller segments. We wanted to show you the topics that are currently available. And again, if you have an idea for a workshop you'd really like to bring to your staff that you don't see here, please let us know. We are thirsty for cool ideas. All right, we'd be happy to invent stuff for you. All right, as you can see at the top, it's create the lunchroom mission statement. Each of these has the training instructions first. It looks like this. You can see our logo at the top. It says, because your people make the difference, because that's true. If your staff is not on board, it's going to sink. Your initiatives aren't really going to work that well because attitudes are really contagious. So you want to spend a lot of effort in getting that enthusiasm and understanding and buy-in from your staff. Okay? So you have the instructions, it tells you the objective, it tells you the materials you'll need, it tells you the time commitment involved, and then a step-by-step procedure, right? Most of these are just a page, maybe a page and a half, very simple. Okay, again, if you have any questions, just call us afterwards or email us, of course, and we'll explain in further detail. After that, after the instructions, you'll see a secondary document that has the materials, and go ahead and scroll down on that. Some of them, like this, are replicatable worksheets. You can just make copies. It'll tell you a copy per person or a copy per group of 3 or 1 for the group and so forth. And this will show you what you need. And this shows mission and goal statements for the whole group as well as individual. And it tells you what to do with them afterwards. The final step of each procedure is the follow-up, how to reinforce it, bring it back, make sure it's not just a one-time activity, make sure it really sinks in and becomes part of the culture of your staff. Okay? After that, we have give foods catchy names. We found that enhancing the taste expectations of foods is a great way of getting kids to take, eat, and enjoy their food more. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to rename it. Getting rid of confusing or intimidating words like casserole and turning it into fun and interesting food ideas, especially when you're trying to promote a new recipe that kids might not be aware of yet. We found that especially with little kids, fun names are attractive, like X-ray vision carrots. And with older kids, they like more sophisticated names like savory or baked, some details on how things are prepared. We have, of course, the instructions, and after that, there's, I think it's about 4 or 5 pages of different ways to implement this with different groups. And this can be done with the lunchroom staff, but you can also share this with, maybe have the PTA work on it, or if you create a snack, a student nutrition action committee, you can have the kids do it. And then when the kids make up the names, they're even more attractive to their peer groups, which is really cool. Okay? Again, lots of ways to use this. The next one is positive communication. We have 2 different workshops, and they can be used in order. The first one is with communication cues. A lot of times we hear that staff want to be more friendly, they want to increase the rapport with the kids, but maybe they don't know what to say, all right? Or they're afraid of it sounding kind of canned. So this gives ideas for how to be more interactive, and actually the materials list actually has cues. All right, for different situations and different stations. So we have occasions, goals, and examples. All right, now obviously you can make up your own as well, but this is a great way to start, a great way to open that door. Okay, once we've done that, we also have role playing using scripts. All right, and this looks at, again, positive communication and especially working through those tricky situations, that you're afraid might have potential for conflict, ways to work through those. And they really show, they have a bunch of different situations, and each script has 2 versions, a version A, which is a positive response, and a version B, which is how maybe not a really grouchy negative response, but even an indifferent response can really lead the kids to kind of just throw up their hands, walk away, or can lead to some conflict between different staff members. Whereas a slight difference, usually the differences are only a couple of words, can really make a difference in the ultimate result, either with that student or the next student down the line, or the next time they come through the line. So this shows some real examples of how a little bit of spoonful of sugar really makes the medicine go down. It looks at different student and server situations, and also situations between, say, a food service director and a lunchroom staff member, talking about new changes with the USDA, or changes to lunchroom expectations maybe coming from an administrator, how to get those changes to be seen as positive opportunities for the lunchroom as opposed to one more thing you're making me do. Okay, so definitely check these out. There's a lot of different situations, and it shows you how to write your own, which is a great way to personalize for your staff. And of course, if you have a really cool idea that isn't there and you'd like us to help you write a script for you, let us know. All right, we'd love to have some ideas for things that really need to be out there. Okay, let's see, we have one more. That's promoting target foods. This could be fruits or vegetables, or maybe a new entree you're trying to promote. And a lot of times we get feedback that the lunchroom staff would like to do it, but the kids don't like it, or they don't know, they don't want to make something and then have it not sell. So this is some really cool ways to promote target foods, everything from the naming to the placement to generating buzz on the morning announcements, like different ways to make that food a real happy sensation in the school. And of course, once the kids try it and they have a positive idea about it, they're probably going to like it, which means they'll tell your friends, and it might be more popular the second or third time around. And soon it becomes part of the rotation. And it's no longer a new food, it's a favorite food. And that's our goal. Besides the instructions, we have a target foods presentation. it's not working. We'll reload it. It's a PowerPoint that you can give. It's like 5 or 6 slides. It's real short, but it's great for a staff workshop that actually goes through the different, basically 5 key ways we suggest promoting foods, and has lots of pictures, and it shows why it's so effective. Basically, it's the PowerPoint version of this flyer, which of course you can pass out and or distribute to your people. And this shows, be number 1, put it first, strengthen numbers, don't just put 1 or 2 out, make it popular. Different ways to be visible and exciting, different ways to talk it up, and different ways to give foods friends. Basically being smart about what you partner your new foods with so that it all goes down as a meal as opposed to an add-on. So this is great things for the same workshop. We have a flyer, a presentation, and then of course the last thing we have is a feedback survey, because a lot of times you want to see what the staff is walking away with, what they're walking away with. And this is generic and go with any workshop, ones you make up yourself or these. And it asks how much they learned, what they feel informed about, how confident or empowered do they feel about the information, are they going to implement it, what was most enjoyable. It gives you ideas for making the next workshop even better. Okay, we hope that you've enjoyed this presentation and that you take advantage of these resources. Please let us know how they work for you and pass along any ideas for what we can do in the future. Okay? Again, this is Erin Sharp with Kate Hoy and the Cornell Benz Center and the Smarter Lunchrooms movement.